bother.
I'm doing maintenance on a Honda Civic. Hola! I'm Mike, the Backyard Mechanic, and this is Backyard Mechanic Jr.'s 2018 Honda Civic. It has maintenance codes. Which codes? All of them, I think. Okay, not all of them. It was a B main code, which says to do an oil change and inspect the brakes. I also have to rotate the tires, which is fine. That way I can inspect the brakes. Replace the air cleaner and the transmission fluid. Before I begin, there's another channel competing with me. What did I do now? I don't want questions, I want answers, like how to insulate an attic. Well, I would like to know that. I am not telling you to go watch that video, and I am not telling you the link is in the description. I know my audience, and you do not like to be told what to do. So, don't. Jacking up a small car is way different than jacking up a large car, SUV, or truck. The reason for this is the frame, or lack thereof. When I jack up the Honda Pilot, I just look underneath to see where the frame is, throw the jack under it, and up it goes. The Civic has jack points, which are almost at the center of the car behind the front wheels. You can use this if your jack is as long as my leg. You have to use the pinch welds on the side of the car under the door. These are really strong and designed to hold the weight. If you want to get fancy, you can remove this plastic cover and expose the pinch weld and jack it up by that. I'm not fancy. I just jack it up with this plastic cover in place. The jack has to be far enough back that you can get the jack stand in front of it. You pretty much lift the whole side of the car, but it will handle it. After the front of the car is secure in the jack stands, find the jack point in the back. There's a pinch weld behind the bumper. Key points for safely jacking up a car are solid level ground. Sounds obvious, but don't jack up a car on the side of a mountain. Chalk blocks or bricks. Put something behind the back wheel in case the parking brake fails to keep the car from rolling backwards and out the garage door. Proper jack stands. I actually haven't found jack stands that are so bad they would fail, but I do have one where the handle fell off, making it kind of useless. Proper jack. The jack in the trunk is designed to lift the car high enough to change a tire. If you're working on your own car, you have to have a minimum set of tools, and one of those is a decent floor jack. I have this low profile garage floor jack. It wasn't cheap, but I'm so glad I bought it. You can get cheaper floor jacks for around 50 bucks, but make sure it's low enough to get under your car. The Civic comes with a continuously variable transmission, or CVT. Continuously variable means there are infinite gears. This works using two pulleys connected by a belt where the diameter of the pulleys can change to adjust the gear ratio. Honda is known for their bulletproof engines. Their transmissions, not so much. It's quite common to never do a trans fluid change in your car and yet the transmission keeps on going. You don't want to take that chance with a CVT. To change the trans fluid, the engine splash guard needs to come off. I have an aftermarket splash guard that's been jerry-rigged with a few bolts, sheet metal screws, and baling wire. See this video for why that is. Remove the transmission fill plug first so that a vacuum doesn't keep the fluid from coming out. Remove the upper plug. This is the level hole. With a 3/8 drive ratchet, remove the trans plug. The fluid shoots out of there sideways, so make sure to catch it with the drain pan. Inspect the end of the drain plug, which has a magnet on it. If there are any metal chips on it, well, there's no solution for that. Just hope there isn't. Honda loves their one-time use crush washers. I'm not sure of the purpose. Probably this is controlled by the crush washer industrial complex. Replace the plug and torque to 25 foot-pounds. Don't get stupid here. Use the correct trans fluid made for CVTs. The Honda CVT takes 3.9 quarts, but we want to sneak up on it. Insert a long neck funnel and add 3.5 quarts. Now start the engine and run through the gears. I know, I just explained how CVTs don't have gears, but this will move the pulleys around and help fill air pockets in the transmission. Now top off the fluid, either until you get to 3.9 quarts or fluid seeps out of the level hole. Nothing seeped, so I stopped at 3.9 and replaced the level plug and torqued it to 32 foot-pounds. Then replace the transmission fluid cap. Transmission fluid is basically oil. Put the old fluid into the used bottles and recycle it just like you do engine oil. Speaking of oil, break the oil plug free and drain the oil. Inspect the magnetic plug for shavings. Replace the crush washer. Curse the crush washer industrial complex and replace the drain plug. I use gloves to loosen the filter and do my best to catch the oil spill. Using a solo cup to remove the filter will catch any oil you didn't already spill on the floor. Put on a new filter and torque to 100 foot-pounds. Kidding, finger tight, then a quarter turn. Don't experiment with oil weights. Use what it says on the cap. The Civic takes 0 W20. It's a 1.5 liter engine and takes 3.4 quarts. For my Canadian friends, it's a 1.59 quart engine that takes 3.22 liters. When adding the oil, be sure to hold the funnel steady. Mother. Clean up your mess and add 3.5 quarts. The Civic, Pilot, and Mazda all use the same oil. I buy 5-quart containers and use how much is needed and combine the remainder into this jug. I marked it so I don't mix it up with the used containers. After a few oil changes, I've got a free container of oil. Run the engine for a minute, then shut it off, then let it sit for a minute, then check the oil level. Remember, the oil filter was empty when you installed it. Some people suggest pre-filling the filter before installing it, but that sounds like a mess waiting to happen. Replace the splash pan. Again, I use this customized pan to set me apart at car shows. The air filter is a breeze to replace. After you get past the pun and the $25 price tag, some filters are held in with clips. Mine is held in with Phillips screws. I told you that was fast. That was real time. Okay, fast forwarded, but without cuts. To finish off the maintenance codes, rotate the tires. I didn't capture it on camera, but while I had the wheels off, I inspected the brake pads. I've also discovered a memory device. Whenever you take your wheels off, put your torque wrench on the driver's seat. That way you won't forget and drive off with untorqued nuts. I've driven off 3 times with snug lugs. Ugh. My friend Chew will appreciate that memory device. To reset the codes on the Civic, go to Settings, Vehicle, Maintenance Info, Reset Items, All Do Items. Then take it for a test drive, listen for noises. When you get back, check for leaks. I should note I often referred to the Civic as mine, but Backyard Mechanic Jr. paid for that car himself. He's quite responsible with it. He knows to say, "Hey Dad, the engine light is on. Can you fix it?" "Oh, I have a fan online. Hey fan, did you like the video?" It was okay. What I really like is my video." "Hey, you're not my usual fan. Who the heck are you?" "I'm Mike, introducing my new channel, What Did I Do Now?, where I show all the things I did." Now, wait a minute, you weren't invited. Thank you for the invitation. My first video is how to insulate and floor an attic, which I do over my 3-car garage, giving me 600 square feet of storage space and better climate control. That's a coincidence. That's how big my garage is. Are you... am I? Don't think about it too hard or this bit won't work. Thanks! That was definitely something to ponder. Oh, I have another fan online. Hey fan, did you like the video?
I think I just experienced a deja snooze. One of you put me to sleep, and then the other put me to sleep.
Thanks, fan. Well, I was going to recommend an oil change could cost you thousands, but I guess you should go ahead and check out the new channel on YouTube. Or do both. You're smart. And don't forget to torque your nuts.
Wow, you're like identical twins. I'm not sure if I'm getting twice the value or half.